Welcome to Paul's Take. This is the night shift, and I had this. I actually did this video once before, and turned out I had not. I did it all wrong. I didn't have my mic plugged in. It wasn't rolling. I thought it was. It was chaos, mayhem. Anyways, good evening. I hope you guys had a great day, and this is going to be a great show, especially because I did it already once before just now, and now this is take two. Take two is always better than take one, especially when you're doing YouTube. So anyhow, this is being broadcasted on a podcast and on YouTube. This initially was my YouTube page, and I decided to do podcasts. So welcome. And before I forget, make sure you hit like, subscribe, or at least subscribe, so you won't miss any of my other great shows. This one is on Star Wars. And right there, Star Wars. That's the Jedi. I'm using the Force to get this information. The Force is strong in my family. Star Wars, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. What if? There's an idea where just thought out. Not my idea. I've heard it somewhere that your thoughts, your brain is more like an antenna than an actual computer, right? You're receiving information from the universe. The universe is full of information, and you're just an antenna absorbing stuff. So when you have ideas, they're not really your ideas. They're just information that's already out there. Maybe experiences from another person or another reality, another dimension. Who knows the actual truth of it all? But what if that is true in the sense of the Star Wars, or even any kind of like fiction, where all these different battles are really going on somewhere at some time, maybe even a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and we're just picking it up. It seems that is the case on a lot of different instances. I don't know if you ever heard that when a discovery comes around, a lot of times, out of the blue, out of nowhere, two or more people will have the same discovery in their different parts of the world, but they'll all have the same idea at the same time. And they don't even know each other. They're not like conversing. So maybe that's how it is in all things. Now, I actually think that all that stuff is true. Actually, the universe is so big. It's so darn stinking huge that pretty much anything that could be probably is or was at some point, right? So there's going to be all kinds of life in this universe, different levels. And I think that there is an abundance of life throughout the galaxy. The universe is not just Earth; it's everywhere. Because we're not made of anything special. We're stardust. There's stardust everywhere throughout the universe. And as far as billions and billions of years ago, when the Earth finally cooled, life just sprung like crazy. And it was different. It was different atmosphere, different chemistry, similar, but it was different temperatures. Went through some hot periods and cold periods, but yet life still flourished. And it probably was on Mars too, right? So there probably was life on Mars, but then they probably destroyed themselves, got into a galactic battle, and then they had to retreat to Earth and start all over again, possibly. Well, we are primitive in a sense where we've only started doing technical stuff because of probably like the Dark Ages, and religion said, don't think, only listen to me. Thinking is a sin. Science is the devil. But now we got over that. Science is cool now. Even religions say, yeah, listen to science, do some science, look at the stars, make some discoveries. So we're finally able to progress. Even though it seems like we could progress even further if the whole world was more focused on progression. But there's other issues we got to deal with. We're still pretty primitive over here. But really, we only had, 150, 200 years of really good technology. the technology boom when we started flying a little while ago, and then we're all of a sudden going to the moon. Supposedly, I think we did. I think we went to the moon. I'm not going to say we didn't. So now we finally got off the Earth, and we can go to the moon, our nearest neighbor. And we've had all these alien experiences. If you believe it or not, I believe them. Like Eisenhower supposedly met with the aliens, the Nordic aliens supposedly, that's what I read. And they said, no more nukes. What? So they're trying to do a treaty where we didn't do any more nuclear testing. That's what I heard that the meeting with Eisenhower was. And then you had another incident in like 1967, I believe, where there was this nuclear missile silo. There was some sightings of aliens above it, and then the aliens, or let's just say, aliens are above it, and all of a sudden, the silo went offline, all of a sudden, same time. So it is believed that the UFOs, the aliens, they somehow, this is before internet. It wasn't like they could hack the system, just go online or something and get the password. This was like old technology. So how did they hack that old primitive stuff? I don't know. But they were able to take the system offline and basically give us a warning, say, hey, stop playing with those nukes. But why? Why stop playing with nukes? Nukes are cool. They build things up. It's like gunpowder. Well, here's the thing. Two things. For one, obviously nuclear power, nuclear fusion is huge and destructive and probably could destroy any civilization if we could sneak it in somehow. But two, it's also when the Earth, somebody like sets off a nuclear bomb or explosion, it sends out a signal all the way through the galaxy. And then there are species out there that are far more advanced. They can travel throughout the galaxy without a problem. Are saying, hey, where did that come from? What's going on with that little blue planet over there? They're getting advanced. We might have to monitor them. They might be ready to become a threat. They might have to be put in their place. Because if you have a civilization that's millions of years ahead of us, they're traveling around the galaxy like it's no problem. They jump in their little thing and cruise around. But the thing is, here's the thing. They know at some point, maybe it might be a million years from now, maybe 10,000 years, who knows, that we will stumble across this technology that we can travel around, right, throughout the galaxy. Now we have nukes and we can travel around. What does that mean? That means we're a threat to them, right? So all these other planets that are way more advanced than us, that have been like traveling around for millions of years now, or even hundreds of thousands of years from now, they're traveling around. They're in this Milky Way community, right? And now we're the new kids on the block. We're dumb. We're got the basic technology, but if we're not under check, we could potentially become dangerous. So we're gonna realize the pecking order once we start being able to travel out of our galaxy. Out of our solar system into the galaxy. We're going to realize we are just a little tiny speck, a fly, a flea, a gnat that they can crush with a thought. But at the same time, if they don't pay attention to us, we could potentially sneak into their little planet or big planet and nuke it. Right? We could be a threat. So they're going to regulate us like we would do to any country that was getting too strong. We would throw on some sanctions, some regulations, put them in their place. They're going to do that to us. And I'm sure there's some really powerful alliances, galactic alliances that are going to make sure maybe they want to maybe they'll see us and say, hey, these guys are smart enough to dig some holes and pump some gas or something. And they might want to use us as slave labor, maybe food, who knows? Because, I mean, could you imagine it feels like a shark species, the shark species that got really smart and could travel throughout the universe? They might say, hey, we need to eat. Let's eat all these people. We can go to this planet and feast on all these people. Sharknado could happen. So it's crazy. It's crazy when you think. And I was thinking about how big the universe was. And I came to like the analogy because it's like 200 billion stars, supposedly in the Milky Way galaxy by itself, right? 200 billion stars. That's a lot. So how, this is a big number. What does, I mean, how can you even visualize 200 billion stars? Well, imagine you're at a football game, right? A big, professional football game, stadium. You're in a stadium and you look out. In the stadiums, usually a big stadium could hold about 100,000 people, 100,000. So you can imagine if they're all stars, 100,000 different stars, there's probably probably going to be some life. I think there's going to be a lot of life, to tell you the truth. I think there's going to be abundance of life in that 100,000 stars. Different levels of intelligence, of development, or of evolution, being evolved, different levels. But I think there's going to be tons of life in that 100,000 stars. But now, imagine each of those 100,000 is in itself a stadium of 100,000, right? So 100,000 people, 100,000 seats. In each seat is 100,000. It's a stadium in itself. That's 10. Well, if my calculation is correct, I might want to double check my math, but I believe that's 10 million. No, I'm sorry, 10 billion. 10 billion people. 10 billion stars, right? So imagine that, if you will, that each, big stadium with 100,000 people, that each one is 100,000. That's 10 billion. Now, of course, I said that's 200,000. So multiply that by 20, and there you have it, the Milky Way. So, and if I'm correct in that in each 100,000, there's abundance of life in all of them. There is so much life out there. It's crazy. And that's just one galaxy. And obviously there's galaxies. So there's like, is it up to a trillion galaxies in the universe? Maybe more. It could be endless. Who knows? That might just be one universe. Maybe there's more universes beyond that. Boggles the mind. So there's got to be, I'm sure, right? Here's another thing. So these species are so advanced because they could be millions and tens of millions, even a billion years old, some species. So now you have your little species that could travel around their solar system. And then there's some species that could travel around the galaxy. Well, now they're going to have alliances because what you want to do is protect yourself from a species that can go from one galaxy to another galaxy. You know what I'm saying? It's like each little layer has its own gang, a little level. So who knows? Throughout all of the universe, who has the most crazy big army of spaceships that can just travel around the universe and just do whatever they want because nobody can stop them. They can have Death Stars. They can just take out their whole planet. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's planets out there or species out there that can take out the whole planet. So I think it's best if we stay on the down low. I say we stay. At least let's not advertise that we're going to be a threat until we can take over the galaxy. It's like in Risk. You got to build it up. Don't advertise it. Keep it on down low. Get some alliances, or obviously, or apparently, if the story is true with Eisenhower, we are already talking with aliens, right? So there's probably already some agreements, and supposedly some are living here on Earth, and supposedly there's some living on the moon, inside the moon. I don't know if that's all true. Might be. Who knows? There's probably, but like I said, I think there's such an abundance of life out there. There could be different species living on Earth. There could be another species on the moon. And there could be species still on the Mars. Who knows? They could be all over the place. I just think there's so much. It could be like in Men in Black, just species all over the universe. Does that freak you out? Does it? I don't know. It's kind of creepy. So it's like, don't be in a hurry to meet aliens. I mean, hopefully we can meet some that are cool, like stoner aliens. What's up, alien? They could give us their tech. It'll kind of give us a jump start. I think that's probably what's happening. That's why we're advancing so fast. We're getting some alien tech. Who knows? All right. There was another thing. What was I going to talk about? I forgot. There was something else that I was going to discuss, but I forgot. It'll come to me later. Anyhow, this will be a short show because I already did it once. This is the second running. I didn't even realize that my stream got cut off. I didn't have the mic together. It was a mess. It was like the first real mess. This is my new adventure, my new thing. So I'm still learning. I'm trying to figure this out, but it's fun. So make sure you hit like, subscribe, and some alerts that way you know when I'm going live. And like I said, you can watch this on YouTube or on a podcast. Either way, it's Paul's Take. And hit like on both. What in the world? Spread it around. We're going to be huge one day. You can say, I remember that when he was small. He was stupid. He was lame. But what do you think? And also, put in the comments, what do you think? Is there seriously advanced, super freaky, scary alien races out there just waiting for us to get big enough so they can use us and abuse us? Or are we all alone in this massive, humongous universe? Multi-universe, different dimensions, all kinds of weird stuff. Or is it all just a dream? I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching Paul's Take. We'll see me tomorrow. I got a late start today, like I said, because I got screwed up. It's take 2. So 12:30 every night. That's the plan. Thanks for watching Paul's Take.